copy of the complaint?
Yes.
Okay. All right. All right. So we'll be out in just a couple minutes.
Thank you.
It's a weird time to figure out what the driver People walking. Yeah. Bring it in, tight it. If you can. Okay, is everybody ready? Okay. Good morning. My name is Jeff Neslund, Neslund, and I represent the family of Marjay Dotson and Jeremy Hurt, two teenagers that were gunned down at Douglas Park back on June 26th. Yesterday, we filed a lawsuit in the Law Division of Cook County against the lifeguard and the Chicago Park District. What should have been a great day in the summer, fun at the pool, turned into a nightmare when a Chicago Park District employee pulled out a loaded handgun and started shooting indiscriminately in the park. Marjay, 15 years old, was shot in the back, a cowardly shot as he tried to run away. Jeremy Hurt was shot in the left side of his neck. He has a burst fracture at the C4 vertebrae. Currently, he is unable to use his legs or his arms. He is undergoing surgery right now to try to stabilize that fracture. We filed this lawsuit to get answers. Why was someone with a violent background who just shot and killed dogs a few months earlier, a shooting that required a SWAT team response that had to search his apartment to find him? Why was this man not arrested? How did this man land a job with the Chicago Park District a few months later? Why, after complaints from Park District employees, co-workers, and other patrons at pools, why was this man promoted? Why was he promoted? Why was he allowed to stay on as a lifeguard? Just 1 month before this horrific shooting, a patron at another pool specifically complained about the shooter, saying he did not feel safe because of his aggressive behavior. We filed this lawsuit because the family deserves answers. We want answers, we want accountability, and we want change so this never happens again. Now, Jeremy's father would like to say a few words.
Like Jeff just said, we basically just want answers like in every way possible for our kids. Like our lives has changed forever. And my son, like he said, going for surgery right now. And we weren't even able to be there because we're here. And we just want justice in every way possible. And just to bring y'all in on our life since this happened, for today, day 69, and me and my wife ain't done nothing but be by our son's side at the hospital at his bedside. We ain't been to work, we don't go nowhere. We just be right there by his side. So not only did our kids' lives be changed forever, our lives have changed as well. We did have a meeting with like officials, like the CEO of the park district. He asked us like some things like what did we want done or what did we want to change. So we gave them some things, and but to our knowledge, we haven't heard anything from none of them saying that they did anything since this happened. So we just want justice.
Okay.
And can we get a moment of silence for Marjay and honor Marjay? Moment of silence.
All right. And just a few words about Marjay Dotson. He was a 15-year-old. He was going to be a sophomore at UIC Prep. He played football. He had dreams. He had ambition. All of that snuffed away because of this cowardly shot to the back. We hope through this lawsuit that we can bring change and accountability to the Park District. So a lifeguard who's supposed to save lives, not take lives, is not allowed to bring a loaded handgun to work. And in addition to the handgun, we know in this case, the shooter had 2 extra clips in his backpack. He had a plate of body armor and a satellite phone. We hope through this lawsuit that this never happens again. Thank you. No. No one else is going to speak.
I'm gonna speak.
Oh, go ahead.
Excuse me. Okay. I'm the grandfather of Jeremy, and I just want to go on record and let y'all know that the Park District has totally abandoned us. We reach out to them, they reach out to others, and they need to be held accountable too. They think they're gonna sweep this under the rug, but we ain't gonna let it, because we got men in this family that's gonna stand up for their children. They talk to everybody, but they won't talk to us. And we just fed up with it. So I'm asking that everybody in the Park District be held accountable from the top all the way to the bottom, because they work with this man every day. They had little kids complaining every day, and they never did nothing, and this is the result of it. They had little kids going there every day to the boathouse complaining, this man doing this man doing that. They never did nothing. And this the results of it. So I'm asking everybody to be held accountable. Thank you. Terris Williams, Williams. Thank you.
What was it that, I don't know whether either of you or share, but what changes did you want to see? You mentioned that when you met with the Park District CEO, you told him some things you wanted to see change. You know, what do you want to see different? I mean, now is the time when they're organizing for next season, pools are closed, beaches are closed, and they're thinking about their practices and policies for the following season.
Well, number one, there has to be better screening of who you're going to hire as a lifeguard. As I stated, this incident, this shooting incident 2 months earlier in Lakeview somehow was not on their radar. So better screening by the Park District. There has to be a better discipline system for the Park District. We know from the Park District's own investigation, the shooter was moved around from pool to pool like a chess piece. If somebody complained about him, if a coworker said he couldn't manage his emotions, he yelled at people, he didn't have what it took to be a lifeguard, they would just move him to another pool. So we want to see that change. There's got to be better discipline and accountability by the Park District. And security. Security. I mean, some neighborhoods, there is security, there needs to be more security. There's no reason for a lifeguard to be bringing a loaded handgun with extra clips to work. So those are the basic changes.
Earlier in the summer, after the shooting, Pastor Martin Luther met with Jeremy, as well as the Shinar Palmdale Chamber of Commerce, released a demand letter to the Park
wrote the letter.
Now, can you say that again, Michael? Because you know you haven't been a pure representation of what we call. It's funny, Michael, because I haven't had any direct communication with you about any of this process, because your representation of what our community has really wanted to say has been twisted every single time I've had an interview with you. So I'd like to know again what was said about that letter that I know you had no parts in receiving.
Tell them who you are.
Oh, I am the president and CEO of the North Lawndale Chamber of Commerce, who initiated the letter to the Park District.
Spell your name.
What are your thoughts about where we are and what you want to see done?
You guys are kicking the can down the road instead of addressing this exactly how you're supposed to do it head on, with the family at the forefront, because it's their blood that is on that park. They have to make the sacrifices every single day to be confident enough to send not just the children that they have lost and that they're fighting for, is the future children. Are they confident enough to send those babies to the park with what you guys have done and the lack of respect that you've had in the response of the process? When we sent that letter out, it wasn't for you guys to tell us what to do. It was for you to come sit down with the family so they could tell you what to do. Because you doing it has led us to our children being judged the way that they were judged on the day that that baby was murdered and one life was almost taken. So there's no trust in the system or the process. So we documented to hold you guys accountable. So for you to speak to it and the lack of respect that you've shown to my community and its family throughout this entire process, I don't have any support or any type of confidence of what you will represent will be pure as to how it represents the voice of this family. Anything else you guys like for me to say? No, I'd like for the family to tell me what they like for me to say. So if they're okay with me to continue to speak, I will.
I just wanted to clarify. Thank you. I just wanted to clarify. When you're saying you're referring to the Park District, or you're referring to a particular reporter?
No, Michael is the particular reporter. The message went out to the Park District.
Okay.
No communication happened with Michael about this process at all.
Okay. Just wanted to be clear on that. And then if you wanted to continue or talk to the family.
Whatever they'd like for me to do, I'm only here for support of the family.
Jeremy Harrod, Jeremy, last name Herred.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Jeremy, you just talked about how this is taking a toll on your family. Is it two other younger kids, right?
A 3 and a 5-year-old.
And at this point, what does it look like for your son? He's in surgery. Why is it that you have to be there every day?
I mean, my 5-year-old, like he he really understand what happened, and he just been a little different since it happened, like more emotional and stuff like that. So I say he traumatized from the situation too. My 3-year-old, like he know, but he don't really understand, so he just kind of like play around with it. But my 5-year-old, yeah, he understand.
So you have two other young sons. How do you feel about them going to Steady Park?
I mean,
Not safe.
yeah, they won't be going, especially no time soon. It's sad that you can't, like, kids supposed to be able to go to the park to play. Our kids went to the park to play and got shot by an employee. Like, it's just crazy to me.
And we just want to make sure we hear what you have to say. Do you mind just switching positions so we can hear what you say? I'm okay.
Yeah, she don't want to talk.
Thank you.
I want to step in and also bring to the forefront and turn our attention to, I heard the attorney mention the Chicago Police Department, along with the Park District, who both dropped the ball when it came to this guy in the hiring process and the lack of investigation and charging, the charges that should have been brought up upon this guy and the taking of his concealed carry license. This guy was outright a danger to the public. And even worse, a danger to children. So we would like to look into who was this guy connected to that allowed him to then be hired by the Park District to oversee children. This goes way deeper than just the fact that he was hired by the police, disregarded and not charged, and then hired by the Park District. There's some connections there. and we've been around politics a long time, we know that there's some connections here somewhere. How do you have a 12-hour standoff with the Chicago police and never be charged, didn't have your concealed carry license taken, and then was able to work around children?
You're talking about the incident where the two dogs were shot.
Where the 2 dogs were shot and 1 was killed, and then he did a 12-hour standoff with the Chicago Police Department? The next lawsuit needs to be against the Chicago Police Department. This is against the Park District. We must go after the police department because somebody within the police department or somebody's looked the other way and didn't charge this guy. Stay focused. And then also when it comes to the park, the community has been shut out. If you notice, the entire park is almost fenced off. Where the beach area was, where this golf course that nobody is allowed to use, it's all withering away. And this has been going on a long time. So to the Park District, from our community to the Park District and the city of Chicago, all the way up to the mayor's office, that at some point we want to go into strong protests for the next 30 to 60 days. So we pull the covers off what is happening here. This will not lie dormant. It will not. You will not keep the community will not stay quiet about this. This is just the beginning.
Do you want to introduce yourself?
Mark Carter, M-A-R-K-C-A-R-T-E-R. But y'all, I don't think it's ever come out as well that this child was at work. His son was working for the Park District, or was he set to work, or was he there already working?
No, he worked there at the school.
Okay, what was his? Did he have? It was something about him with the Park District. Was supposed to work there or anything? Okay,
No.
all right.
Okay. All right. Thank you all very much.
We want justice.